I think it's lick of the week number 3. Yes, missed last week, so we got a nice legato lick in the key of E minor for you. This is actually a 7-string lick, but if you have just a 6, you can turn it around on the 6th string. No big deal. And this one's actually one of those really visually pleasing licks that you whip out in Guitar Center or something like that, and make people who are, you know, in the guitar department or whatever, make them have to go change their pants or something like that, you know. So we're starting like the 13th position with the index finger, going all the way down to the 1st position. So big thing, here we go. A little Cooley style there for you, you know, that stuff he does. This kind of stuff just kind of all runs together, and that's just the point of it. It's just supposed to be really, you know, fast. It's just, like I said, it's just a scale, so when you listen to it, you know, when we go through it slowly, yeah, that's not very interesting. Anyway, I think I talked a little bit about last week. When you're doing the legato stuff, the same thing as like when you're doing the tapping stuff from last week. It's just all about, you know, efficiency. You really want to just get your hand where you just really just have to work on your strength with some of those just chromatic exercises. And you do scales, stuff like that. All that kind of stuff, you know. And if you've never really done this kind of stuff, you can start with a chromatic exercise I showed you last week. That's the best way to start that. You can do some time scale. And move to downtime moves, things like that. It's really all about just really just working the muscles in this hand. This is moving as little as possible, you know, to get set up. And you really want to try to get all your fingers so that they're nice and even strength. So going through this lick, we're starting in the 13th position, way up on the fretboard. Tune the standard, way up on the fretboard. With the pinky at fret, what's that? 17. So we're going to start with a pull off, and the thing is, pull off is the same way as hand rollings. You just want it to be pull off as low as possible. Yeah, I guess I don't know if you don't know anything about pull offs, hand rollings, or pull offs. A hand roll is just basically where you basically just hammer on. And it's basically where you just take your finger and literally hammer on the string hard enough, like people going to sleep, the string hard enough just to produce a note. A pull off is exact same as the same thing, just going the opposite direction. Now some players actually use hammer-ons going descending through their nose, like an Allen Wilder. Now I'm not really any good at that. I haven't really worked on that kind of stuff, so I just do just good old-fashioned, you know, pull-off. You know, that's where, you know, Cooley and Shuki and Becker and Inge. It's where everybody else does, except for Holsworth and Garcia, because they're just weird, I guess. But they're awesome though. If you never listen to Brett Garcia, go listen to some Brett Garcia. His fusion, and I'm not really much into fusion, but his technique will just literally blow you away. But anyway, pull off is just basically where you pull one finger against another. So if I want to hammer on from the starting like the 5th fret of the high E string, I'm gonna hammer on from the index finger to the middle finger. Now that's the essence of hammer on. And the pull off, basically what I do with my middle finger, I basically just literally, so I start with the middle, pull it down. So if like this is your string right here, when you're hammering on, you're literally just tapping it like that. When you're pulling off, you're literally pulling your finger down. And so the idea is that, you know, like you see those guys that do the big like that right there. That right there, and you just do that on your finger. Excuse me. Having some problems apparently. And I think that just takes just practice. How you strings giving me problems at the moment. Anyway, it just takes some practice doing. You know, it's like the exercise. Best way to do it right there. Hammer on, down. And the thing is, whenever you get that up to speed, you can move into scales. And you can just do all kind of stuff. And the thing is like once you train your hand to do that in those different positions, I mean, you can just do it all over the net. And it's, you know, it's not too incredibly hard once you really get that up under your fingers. So, going back to this lick, starting in the 13th position, the index finger. sound. Pinky will be on the 17th fret, the high E. And you're going to pull off to the 15th and 13th fret. Hammer back up to the 15th, 17th. And then you're going to go up to the high E string, and you're going to pick. These are the thing is you'll pick the first note of each string in this one. Now, I pick both ascending and descending. That's just what works for me. Someone like, if you ever listen to Rusty Cooley, who I talk about a lot because the man is amazing, he does his legato, he does not pick descending for whatever reason. I just go ahead and just pick descending because I figure if I'm picking ascending, I might as well pick descending too. I mean, just give your pinky a chance. So you're going to pick the 14th fret of the high E string, hammer on the 15th and 17th fret, pull off through the 15th and 14th, slide down to the 12th fret, hammer on the 14th and 15th, pull off back to the 14th and 12th. Remember what I'm playing here. Going to pick the 15th fret with the pinky finger, pull off to the 13th and 12th. And this starts our sequence right here, actually. Going to slide down to the 10th fret, hammer on 12 and 13, pull off 12, 10. You get the idea what I'm going for here. I'm going to pick the 12th fret of the G string, pull off to 11 and 9. Go slide down to a 7 and hammer on 9 and 10, or 9 and 11. Pick off again. Going to pick the 10th fret of the D string, pull off to 9 and 7. Slide down to 5, hammer on 7 and 9, pull off back down. Going to pick the 9th fret of the A string, the F sharp, pull off to 7 and 5. Slide down to 3, C, hammer back up, pull back off, back down. Pick the 7th fret of the low E string, pull off 5, 3. Slide down to 2, hammer back on 3 and 5. Now, if you only have a 6th string, this is the point you would turn it back around. Pull it back down to 2 and go back up to 3 and go back all the way back up to the lick. Now, if you happen to have a 7th, or like me, you're crazy, and you have more strings than you know what to do with. I forgot what I was playing now. There we go. Get that 2, 3, 5, back to 3 and 2. Hammer on the 5th fret, or you can pick it, the 5th fret of the 7th string. Pull off both 3rd fret and the 1st fret, low C. Hammer on back up, and then you're going to do the whole thing backwards. So, the second position, 2, 3, 5, pull it off, 3. That should be the whole thing. We'll do the whole thing slowly first. Woo, failed. This kind of stuff is tough on your left hand, but it's great for your strength. The only point, for the most part, the thing is I would say is keep most of your fingering in between the index and the pinky, switching between both the middle and the ring, depending on kind of, if you're doing like the stretchy shape. That's usually 1, 2, and 4. More of like your E minor 9 kind of shapes. I tend to use ring for that. Now there's only one point of note in there, and that is this one right here, where you're ascending. We hit the 7th, 9th, and 10th fret on the D string, the A, B, and the C. I've been fingering those with the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd fingers, because when you go up to the next part of it, I guess, you gotta hit that 11 up there, that F sharp. And the thing is, if you hit the the D, the 7th, 9th, and 10th on the D with your first, third, and fourth fingers, it just makes that transition really difficult for me, for me personally to move through. And so I've got where I figure out more of a closed shape. And the thing is, you should be able to do that. You should be able to basically do any kind of finger combination anyway. But yeah, that's the whole thing right there. I guess that's it. Just work hard, practice hard, shred on. We'll see you next week. If you can do it, I know you can. Just rambling on, just going on forever. Ooh.